Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating slow-burn corporate mystery. So, I want you to imagine this scenario. You've got a highly secure data room, absolutely packed full of protected, incredibly sensitive evidence, and it mysteriously opens up while the entire office is fast asleep. There are no alarms, no broken windows, and no obvious culprits sneaking around. Just a digital door swinging wide open in the dead of night. Let's break down exactly how this whole corporate mystery unravels.
Okay, let's dive into this. 3:03 a.m. That is the exact timestamp when this secure data room was accessed. And what this story brilliantly highlights is that dangerous security breaches, they rarely look like a flashy Hollywood movie. They usually just look like a boring administrative glitch, right? It's exactly the kind of routine notification you'd probably just blindly swipe away before you've even had your morning coffee. But make no mistake, 3:03 a.m. is starkly out of bounds for normal business operations.
Which brings us to the absolutely critical question here. Who was awake to open the data room? Because when we actually look at the official access list for this highly restricted folder, absolutely nobody with authorized access was logged onto the network. Not a single person. So you can feel the tension building here. We've got an open door, highly sensitive files, and absolutely zero authorized personnel awake to turn the key.
Part 1. The Corporate Excuse. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how, naturally, when an inconsistency like this happens, the corporate machine just kicks into high gear to sweep it right under the rug. Management rolls out the classic corporate theater, using these really soft words like fresh start and healing and alignment. Meanwhile, security offers a highly convenient excuse. They claim the room was opened by automated indexing during a scheduled backup. It sounds super technical, very calm, and it's literally the digital equivalent of "the dog ate my homework." It's an excuse perfectly designed to make busy people stop asking questions.
But Maya, the company's strategy lead, she is just not buying this calm, technical excuse. In a totally classic maneuver of office politics, the transformation officer, Adrian Vale, tries to pull Maya aside to suppress the investigation entirely. He frames his little warning as friendly career advice, basically telling her to be careful not to turn a system inconsistency into a full-blown crisis. Maya's response pushes back brilliantly. She literally looks at him and says, "Truth is not damage. Hiding it was."
Part 2. Following the audit trail.
So Maya refuses to be intimidated, but instead of shouting in the boardroom, her team methodically starts building what they call a proof map, using parts of the system everyone else just ignores. And this is where Sofia, a new operations coordinator, really shines. Because she's new, she actually believes the rules are meant to be read. I know, crazy, right? She dives straight in the fine print. We're talking metadata, routing notes, owner fields, missing approvals. She leverages that fresh perspective to actually inspect the tiny, boring footnote details that the old corporate culture just finds way too inconvenient to check.
And this brilliantly illustrates how Nina, the executive assistant, reveals the reality of those digital footprints leading right up to that 3:03 a.m. anomaly. Days before, the room was booked. Hours before, a draft was printed. Minutes before, a visitor was logged. And seconds before, a routing trail was created. The absolutely crucial takeaway here: invisible background administrative work always leaves a highly visible foreground trail. The system is always taking notes.
So as the team brings this timeline into a formal review meeting, the room predictably devolves into polite theater. People are softening their verbs, worrying about optics, the whole shebang. But then, an analyst named Aisha drops a room-shrinking question. She asks, who benefits if this stays classified as harmless? Wow, that just instantly cuts through the formal corporate fluff and forces everyone to look directly at the underlying motives.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 3, the screen capture reveal. To actually answer Aisha's powerful question, the team needs unassailable proof. Enter Jordan, the IT audit specialist. Now, Jordan doesn't use any flashy hacker magic. Nope, he simply pulls the raw system logs. And the absolute truth of it is just undeniable. During that exact 3:03 a.m. access window, Jordan finds screen capture activity. So actually scratch that whole automated backup myth. It was a device assigned to an external reviewer. Someone was intentionally in that protected room, secretly taking pictures of the evidence.
Maya handles this massive revelation with just perfect, calculated restraint. It's a total victory. During the review meeting, she doesn't yell. She simply places this undeniable, raw proof right next to the official automated backup explanation. And she tells the room, "I am not asking you to trust me. I am asking you to trust the record you created." She brilliantly forces the executives to argue with their own system's logs, which obviously they cannot do. The truth is officially trapped on the page.
Part 4. Fixing the broken system.
The truth is out, but a truly repaired workplace doesn't rely on private apologies whispered behind closed doors, right? It relies on publicly fixing the broken process. So Jordan writes exact, visible steps directly into the workflow for all protected evidence rooms moving forward. Step 1. No screenshot controls are added. Step 2. Live access alerts are enabled, meaning if a room opens at 3 a.m., everyone's phone is going to buzz. And Step 3. After-hours dual approval is explicitly required. The system now automatically leaves unavoidable footprints.
We're going to wrap up this explainer with a really powerful thought, straight from the source material. The record did not raise its voice. It simply waited for someone patient enough to read it. The truth was always there, just hiding out in the boring data. So I want to leave you with a final provocative question. Think about how your own team manages accountability. Does your workplace rely on brave people to constantly rescue the truth? Or have you built a system where the truth no longer needs permission to appear? Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.